13 haunted spots, ghosts, legends, and chills. Dare to explore the Pacific Northwest spooky side? Welcome to RV Out West. I'm Brooks. Based in the Pacific Northwest, my family of four hits the road to explore the best of RV life out west. From hidden gems and epic destinations to helpful tips and real road stories. So grab your coffee and join the journey. There's something about the Pacific Northwest that lends itself to ghost stories. Maybe it's the way the mist curls through the evergreens at dawn, or how the fog rolls in off the coast, swallowing the world in gray silence. Beneath that natural beauty lies a darker undercurrent. Stories of restless spirits, eerie happenings, and ghostly whispers that have echoed through the forests and small towns for generations. The land here holds its secrets close, but if you listen carefully, you might just hear them calling. From lighthouses perched on storm-battered cliffs to forgotten mining towns deep in the Cascades, the Pacific Northwest is steeped in legends that blur the line between history and haunting. Old hotels still creak with the weight of unseen guests, and lonely highways have their share of phantom travelers. Each location tells its own chilling tale, reminding us that even paradise has its shadows, and sometimes the past refuses to stay buried. So pack your courage along with your camping gear, because we're taking you on a haunted RV road trip through the Pacific Northwest. In this journey, we're going to visit 13 haunted places you can roll right up to. From Washington's ghostly coastal outposts to Oregon's mysterious mountain inns. Whether you're a believer or just in it for the thrill, these stories are guaranteed to send a shiver down your spine and make you see the PNW in a whole new and haunting light. Here are 13 of the creepiest haunted spots in the Pacific Northwest. Places where history, myth, and the unexplained collide. Some are hotels, lodges, or seaside lighthouses. Others are abandoned trails, ghost towns, or old theaters. If you're into ghost hunting on the road, these all will make excellent stops. Coming in at number 13, St. Helens, Oregon. Perched along the Columbia River, the quaint town of St. Helens has an eerie charm that seems almost cinematic. And fittingly so, since it's the filming location for cult classics like Halloween Town and Twilight. But beyond the festive facade and Hollywood fame lies a town steeped in real ghost stories. Founded in the mid-1800s as a bustling port, St. Helens was once a rough-and-tumble hub for sailors, loggers, and prospectors, many of whom met grim fates in fires, bar brawls, and tragic accidents along the waterfront. The Klondike Restaurant and Bar, housed in an 1890s hotel, is the most notorious haunt. Staff and guests have long reported cold drafts, flickering lights, and the ghostly image of a man in a turn-of-a-century clothing wandering the halls. Some say he's a former innkeeper who still checks on his guests after closing time. Others believe he's one of the countless travelers who never left. Just down the street, the Columbia Theater, once the town's entertainment jewel, has its own residential spirits. Patrons who appear in balcony seats long after the doors are locked, perhaps still waiting for the next act to begin. Number 12, Montgomery House Bed and Breakfast, Kalama, Washington. Built in 1908, the Montgomery House has lived many lives, and none of them without tragedy. Perched above the small river town of Kalama, this stately old house first opened its doors as a hospital, serving loggers and railroad workers who poured into the region during Washington's early industrial boom. Built in 1908, the Montgomery House has lived many lives, and none of them without tragedy. Perched above the small river town of Kalama, this stately old house first opened its doors as a hospital serving loggers and railroad workers who poured into the region during Washington's early industrial boom. Many of those men met violent ends. and it's said that not all of them left the building when they passed. Later, the property transferred into a bordello, a place where desperation, danger, and secrecy intertwined, further deepening the home's sorrowful energy. Over the years, guests and paranormal investigators have described unnerving activity within the house: footsteps echoing along through empty hallways, doors that open and close on their own, and whispered voices that seem to drift from room to room. Some have even captured eerie electronic voice phenomena, pleas, and phrases too faint for the human ear. Locals say the energy here isn't malicious, but mournful, a reflection of the suffering and loneliness that once filled its walls. Visitors come seeking comfort and curiosity in equal measure, and while many leave with stories of warmth and hospitality, nearly all agree on one thing: there's something, or someone, still residing in that house who's not quite ready to let go. Number 11, Shelburne Hotel in Long Beach, Washington. Standing proudly along Washington's misty coast since 1896, the Shelburne Hotel is the oldest continuously operated hotel in the state, and some say it's never truly empty. Originally built to serve travelers arriving by stagecoach and a steamer, the Shelburne became a refined seaside escape for the adventurous and affluent. Over the decades, it has weathered fierce coastal storms, prohibition raids, and countless renovations. Yet the echoes of its past remain firmly in place. The hotel's most enduring resident is said to be one of its early owners, Sarah C. Corbett, who lovingly managed the property with her husband. Guests and staff alike believe her spirit still lingers, keeping watch over the place she poured her heart into. Visitors report gentle but unmistakable signs of her presence: silverware rearranged after dinner service, faint perfume drifting through the parlor, and soft whispers in unoccupied rooms. Some have even felt the brush of an unseen hand or glimpsed a figure in period dress gliding silently through the corridors. While the activity can be unnerving, it's rarely malevolent. Those who've experienced it describe it as maternal, even protective, as if Sarah is ensuring her beloved inn continues to welcome guests with grace and care. Number 10, Lake Quinault Lodge in the Olympic National Forest. Along the tranquil shores of Lake Quinault, in the heart of the Olympic National Forest, the Lake Quinault Lodge has been welcoming guests since 1926. Built in just 53 days after the original hotel burned down, the Grand Cedar Lodge has stood as a rustic escape surrounded by mist, moss, and towering evergreens. But beneath its cozy charm lies a story that has chilled visitors for generations. According to legend, a young woman named Beverly met a tragic end in one of the upper floor rooms, some say by her own hand, after a heartbreaking love affair. Since then, guests and staff alike have reported strange occurrences linked to her lingering spirit. Lights flicker when no one is near the switches, doors close softly on their own, and objects mysteriously shift across tables. Some visitors claim to have felt a sudden cold draft or heard faint weeping in the night when the halls are otherwise silent. Whether you believe in ghosts or not, there's no denying that Lake Quinault Lodge carries an air of timeless mystery, its haunting beauty matched only by the secrets it keeps. Number 9, Northern State Mental Hospital in Cedar-Woolley, Washington. Hidden in the rolling farmland outside Cedar-Woolley, the Northern State Mental Hospital once stood as one of Washington's largest and most self sufficient institutions. Opened in 1912, it was designed to be a progressive facility where patients could heal through work and nature, complete with its own dairy, farm, and gardens. Yet, like many asylums of its era, it soon became overcrowded and underfunded. Thousands of patients lived and died there over the decades, many buried anonymously in the hospital's on site cemetery. The facility was closed in the 1970s, but its abandoned buildings, tunnels, and remnants still whisper of a darker past. Today, the grounds are quiet, but carry an unsettling energy. Visitors report shadowy figures moving through the trees, sudden cold spots, and disembodied screams echoing across the fields at night. Some say the spirits of forgotten patients still wandering the site, trapped between the world of the living and the memories of their suffering. Number 8, Mount Baker Theater, Bellingham, Washington. Opened in 1927, the Mount Baker Theater in Bellingham was built at the height of the golden age of cinema, dazzling visitors with its grand Spanish Moorish design and lavish interior. Originally a vaudeville and movie palace, it has hosted everything from silent films to Broadway shows and concerts. But as the curtains rose over the decades, whispers of something otherworldly began to take root. The most famous tale centers on Judy, a spirited apparition said to have lingered in the theater since the early days, perhaps a former performer, usher, or patron who never left her seat. Staff and guests describe Judy's presence as playful rather than menacing. She's known to make her presence known with sudden cold spots, the faint rustle of fabric, or the delicate scent of floral perfume drifting through the balcony. Some have even heard soft laughter echoing through the empty aisles or glimpsed a fleeting figure in a vintage dress near the stage lights. Whether she's a remnant of the theater's glamorous past or simply a spirit enchanted by its beauty, Judy ensures that the Mount Baker Theater remains as lively after dark as it is under the spotlight. Number 7, University Heights Center in Seattle. Built in 1902 as the University Heights Elementary School, this historic building has stood at the heart of Seattle's University District for more than a century. After serving generations of students, the school closed in the late 1980s and was transformed into the University Heights Center, a thriving community hub. Yet, despite its new purpose, the echoes of its past linger. Staff and visitors often report the unmistakable sounds of children laughing and running down empty hallways, as if the former students never truly left their beloved school behind. The hauntings are said to be gentle but unmistakable. Lights flicker without cause, doors open on their own, and the faint patter of small footsteps can be heard when no one is around. Some late night visitors have even felt a light tug on their sleeve or caught that fleeting glimpse of a child in period clothing before vanishing into thin air. Regardless if the spirits are playful remnants of the building's past or simply echoes of the generations who passed through its halls, the University Heights Center remains one of Seattle's most quietly haunted landmarks. You think these stories are scary? You know what's even scarier? When you can't find a campsite at sold out campgrounds. But luckily, our friend and longtime supporter of the show can help you with that. So be sure to check out camperalerts.com. It's summertime and the great outdoors are calling. But did you forget to book a campsite 9 months ago? Well, don't worry. Say goodbye to sold out campgrounds with Camper Alerts. With Camper Alerts, you can choose your campground, select your site type, and set a personalized alert. And when a site becomes available, they will notify you. It's that simple. Visit camperalerts.com today and start setting your alerts. Number 6, Pike Place Market in Seattle. Few places in Seattle are as storied or as spirited as Pike Place Market. Established in 1907, the market has long been the city's beating heart where farmers, fishermen, and artisans have gathered for more than a century. But beneath the bustling energy and bright stalls lies a deeper, older history. Long before Seattle became a city, this land was home to the Duwamish people, and one of their most revered figures, Princess Angeline, the daughter of Chief Seattle, lived nearby in a small waterfront cabin. When she passed away in 1896, it said her spirit stayed behind, watching over the land that was once hers. To this day, vendors and early risers claim to glimpse a quiet woman in tattered clothing wandering the market's lower levels before dawn. her presence accompanied by a gentle calm or the faint sound of rustling fabric. Some say she smiles softly before fading away into the morning mist. Alongside Princess Angeline, other spirits are rumored to linger in the old basements and tunnels below the market, remnants of the neighborhood's layered past. Pike Place may be alive with energy, but its soul is rooted in the echoes of those who came before. Number 5, Kell's Irish Pub in Seattle. Tucked into Seattle's historic Pike Place Market in Post Alley, Kell's Irish Pub occupies the basement of what was once Butterworth Building, the city's first full service mortuary, built in 1903. In its early days, the mortuary handled thousands of bodies, including victims of disease, mining accidents, and the Great Seattle Fire. The building's lower levels once housed embalming rooms and storage for the deceased before funerals were held upstairs. When Kells opened in the 1980s, it embraced the old world charm of its setting, but some say not all of its former residents were ready to leave. Over the years, staff and patrons have reported eerie and unexplained happenings. Mirrors have been known to crack on their own, glasses slide off of shelves, and ghostly faces appear in the pub's windows after hours. One of the most famous spirits is said to be that of a young girl who occasionally appears near the staircase, her laughter echoing faintly through the air. Others described sudden cold drafts and the uneasy feeling of being watched, all while enjoying a pint. Whether it's the building's dark history or simply the spirits drawn to its lively atmosphere, Kell's Irish Pub remains one of Seattle's most spirited places. Number 4, Hasita Head Lighthouse B&B in Florence, Oregon. Perched dramatically on the cliffs of Oregon's central coast, the Hasita Head Lighthouse has guided mariners safely since 1894. Today, the original lighthouse keeper's house serves as a charming bed and breakfast, offering guests breathtaking ocean views and a glimpse into the life of those who tended the light. But amid the cozy rooms and sweeping coastal scenery, tales of the supernatural persist. Many believe that the spirit of a Victorian woman in gray haunts the property, wandering the halls and appearing unexpectedly in mirrors. Her sorrowful presence, a reminder of lives touched by tragedy along these stormy shores. Legend says she is forever searching for a child she lost long ago, and those who stayed late into the night have reported hearing soft footsteps, the creak of floorboards, or catching a glimpse of her fleeting figure at the edge of a doorway. Objects sometimes move inexplicably, and guests have felt sudden chills even on sunny days. The lighthouse's glowing beacon, a symbol of safety and guidance, now shares its light with lingering spirits, making a stay at Hasita Head both enchanting and eerily unforgettable. Number 3, Walker Ames House in Port Gamble, Washington. The Walker Ames House dates back to the 19th century and stands as a testament to the town's thriving lumber industry. Port Gamble was founded in 1853 as a company town for the Puget Sound Naval Shipyard, and the Walker Ames House became home to some of the town's most prominent families. Over the decades, the house witnessed the comings and goings of generations, preserving not only its architectural charm, but also the memories, and perhaps the spirits, of its former inhabitants. Visitors and paranormal enthusiasts report a host of strange occurrences within the house. A shadowy man is often seen peering from the attic windows, while the joyful laughter of a child echoes through the rooms long emptied of furniture. Doors creak open on their own, objects shift mysteriously, and cold drafts sweep through the halls without warning. These unexplained phenomena have made the Walker Ames House a central piece of Port Gamble's reputation as one of Washington state's most haunted towns, where the echoes of history definitely continue to linger alongside the living. Number 2, Manreyes Castle, Port Townsend, Washington. Perched overlooking Port Townsend, Manresa Castle was built in 1892 as a private residence before eventually serving as a seminary, retreat center, and inn. Its Gothic inspired architecture and sprawling brick facade give it a stately, almost otherworldly presence. Over the years, the castle has borne witness to both devotion and heartbreak, its halls echoing with the lives of those who lived and worked within its walls. From the dedication of monks to the tragic tales of young residents, the castle's history is as rich and layered as its ornate rooms. Guests today report unsettling paranormal activity, particularly in rooms 302 and 306. Many have woken to whispers in the night, the sensation of unseen hands brushing against their shoulders, or fleeting glimpses of shadowy figures. Legend speaks of a devoted monk who never left the castle and a heartbroken young woman whose sorrow keeps her tethered to the upper floors. Whether drawn by love, loss, or lingering duty, these restless spirits ensure that Manresa Castle remains not just a historic landmark, but a haunted destination. And coming in at number 1, Hotel Sorrento in Seattle. Opened in 1909, Hotel Sorrento is one of Seattle's most iconic and elegant historic hotels. Located in the heart of the city's First Hill neighborhood, it has hosted countless artists, writers, and travelers over the decade. The hotel's rich history, filled with glamorous events and literary gatherings, also carries whispers of the supernatural. Among its most famous spectral residents is Alice B. Toklas, the partner and famed writer Gertrude Stein, whose presence is said to linger up particularly in room 408. Guests and staff report glasses moving on their own, lights dimming unexpectedly, and the occasional sense of being watched with a playful, knowing air. Some even claim to hear soft, witty remarks or footsteps pacing the room when it's otherwise empty. Unlike many hauntings, Toklas' spirit is described as charming rather than malevolent, an elegant echo of the hotel's storied past. Staying at the Hotel Sorrento offers not just luxury and history, but a rare glimpse into the playful mysteries that haunt its halls. And that wraps up our spine-tingling tour of 13 most haunted places in the Pacific Northwest. From misty lighthouses to historic hotels, abandoned asylums, and even lively pubs with ghosts of past still lingering. Whether it's playful presence or a Victorian lady in gray, the restless spirits of former students, or the mischievous apparitions of long-gone mill workers, these stories remind us that the PNW is rich, not just in natural beauty, but in history and a few lingering mysteries. If you're planning your next RV adventure, why not add a few of these haunted hotspots to your route? Imagine pulling into a historic lodge, a foggy coastal lighthouse, or a centuries-old theater, knowing that the past might just be watching you. Ghost stories aside, exploring these destinations is a perfect way to mix thrills, history, and the breathtaking landscape of the Pacific Northwest. So until next time, keep your lights on, your cameras ready, and your sense of adventure alive, because you never know what or who might be sharing the road with you. If you got value from this episode, please share it with one person you know. Also, give us a follow on Instagram and Facebook where you can join in on the conversation. I sure would appreciate it. Did you also know that you can text the show directly from your podcast app? Just click that link right there below the episode description. You can share a topic idea, ask a question, or just say, "Hey, I'd love to hear from you." So go ahead, tap that link, and ask away. And if you'd like a response, please be sure to include your email. Thank you again for listening to RV Out West. I really appreciate it. Next week, we're heading off the beaten path and into the past. From crumbling mining towns hidden in the Cascades to deserted coastal settlements reclaimed by nature, we're exploring 13 ghost towns of the Pacific Northwest. So tune in as we uncover the stories of these forgotten places that still whisper, with tales of gold rush dreams, timber booms, and the people who simply vanished when the work ran out. So dust off your sense of adventure, because this one's a little eerie, and be sure to tune in next Monday. Thanks for listening to RV Out West. Be sure to follow the show so you never miss an episode. And if you enjoyed the show, tell a friend and please leave a rating or a review. It would mean a lot. Special thanks to Scott Home Music for our intro song, We Are One. Follow us on Instagram and Facebook to join in on the conversation. Now, Get out there, explore, and go see what's beyond the horizon.